Hello, 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 everybody. This is your girl, the Mary Jane Maven. Sorry, I was acting like, I don't know, when's coming on? What's coming on? I was waiting for my countdown, and I was doing behind the scenes talking to our guest co host, as you see here, a very dear friend of mine, business, partner, a collaborator, just an awesome person for you to know, and you are blessed if you get to know her. And of course, this is Miss Bree. I call her Bree, Brianne from Monthleaf and Daily, correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Like I didn't know that. So welcome back to the
Thank
podcast.
you.
I think that you hold the record now. So this is your fourth appearance.
Yes.
Popcorn celebrity, Lisi B, Chaz, she's blowing you out the water. I don't know. I don't
So
know.
true.
Yes. So welcome. We've spoken, we've kept in contact, we've Zoomed, seen you once or twice, but it's very odd to not have, just immediate where we can get together for our lunches that turn into like drink dates or or when we're both making a date to go, to go out downtown and then one of us is like, I'm looking for parking for like 35 minutes. Uh,
Yes, every time.
every time it's one of us. It's one of us. But I really do miss being able to just hang out with you and shoot the shit and really get caught up on the industry, what's going on locally, and then talk about a little haters that we may or may not have. But it's so good to have you. I am so grateful that whenever I need you, I can give you a text message or give you a call, and you're right there for me. So first and foremost, thank you for always being there and for being much more than just like a collaborator and a business associate. You are a very good friend. So
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome. And guys, she has the best parents ever. So I've like stolen her parents as mine. So hello, mom. Hello, dad. I hope you guys are doing well during this coronacation.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's nuts. It's really nuts. Like so I don't know if you've heard of a content creator. I've said his name before, Trey Kennedy. If you guys don't know, please go like, subscribe, watch, just binge watch his content. He is so talented and extremely funny. And he's done. He had 20 days of content where viewers were able to determine or give him ideas for what the skits or the content was going to be about. So the one that he did today was moms pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. Hilarious, okay? It is hilarious, and it's so very true. Um, but yeah, you definitely, if you take time to kind of sit back and reflect on what you were doing, shit, what is this? August? Good Lord, 6 months ago compared to now. Share with us a little bit about how your normal has changed and what your kind of new normal has been like since what, March 18th, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, in March, I was on the go between here and Oakland and San Francisco. I
Yeah.
was trying to take as many meetings. Of course, it's always best to meet in person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hated like staying in one spot for more than like a couple hours. So I was going to different coffee shops, going to different places to work, and like planning a lot of events and like planning to attend events. And so since then, I'm at home a lot and I've had to adjust to that. And then I've also had to adjust how like I conduct meetings. I've had to adjust how we market our business, how we present ourselves, what we do for our marketing. So everything's kind of changed because of COVID, but I'm enjoying it. Like for the most part, we're staying at home. I like created a little office in the kitchen. So I'm making the best of it.
Yeah. So my office is, where I do my camming and or my podcasting and all that good stuff. So one of Julian's frat brothers came to visit. He lives in Mexico, but he came to visit probably about a month ago. And we had done our, our medicinal, taking of our medicine outside, and it was hot. And so the next time we were going to go, I was like, nah, we're going to our room. Like I've known him 4 years. He's been in our room when we were in college. He's been in our room before kids. Like I don't give a shit. So he comes in, but everything behind me, as you guys can see, I have a background. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 2 of my 4 walls are completely covered in green screen. My lights in my bedroom are not lamps. They are studio lamps and studio lights. So he walks in and he goes, "What are you guys doing? Making pornos now? Like, what's going on?" Like, you never know. It's the time of COVID. You got to pivot. No, so I just thought it was really funny when he was like, "Oh, so you've made your bedroom your working space." And I was like, completely. If you were going to come over tonight, I wasn't going to force you to sit in my bedroom to podcast. We were going to go to our other studio, which is in our living room. But, with this, I can just kind of sit on my bed. Maybe I have on bottoms. Maybe I don't. You never know. Which is a plus of Zoom. So let me ask with you having to, make that change and, it came about so quickly. I remember talking to you probably in like May and you're like, oof, things have slowed down. I had to make an adjustment. I had to finally kind of hire somebody who can handle social media. Did you have a like total breakdown moment at all, during this time? Or were you always kind of like, let's stay positive because of course we know positive thinking manifest positive results. So tell me how you felt. And I don't know if hubby can hear me. So if you tell a lie, I hope hubby, chimes in and is like, no, she was crazy.
No, I definitely it wasn't like anything with like the company that was making me feel discouraged. It was everything outside, like all of the things that were just happening in the world that were making me feel very discouraged and like, what's the point if everything is failing in the world? If everything's going wrong, if we're all going to die, like, what's the point?
If this is the end, why am I like, let me just go ahead and end the business now,
It's all anyway, so I had like that moment, but no, like things are going really well with the business. We brought on like a couple more people to help us. We're looking at hiring agencies to help us with our marketing. So we are growing. We are doing really well. It's just the outside factors that's making it difficult to stay motivated. So like I am trying to like read the news for only a couple minutes and like then taking a break, not being sucked into all of it.
It's literally a lot because it's on, it's crazy to me that news cast are doing their normal, their morning shift. So now they've added an extra hour. So instead of starting at 5, they start at 4. And they go till 8, and then they come back on at 12, and they do 12 to 1 instead of 12 to 12:30, and then they're back on at 4 and 5 and 6, and I'm like, nothing is changing that much other than y'all president maybe tweeted something stupid, but other than that, like what we're definitely being bombarded, with the information, and the thing is that it's nothing really new. I watch the news because I want to know the corona numbers and things like that, but nothing is really making that big of a, headway. I don't feel like a big difference. So I can definitely appreciate you kind of taking mini breaks and having some self-care when it comes to the news cycle. Cause it's very exhausting.
Yeah,
very much.
Like everything is made into like a political thing. Like COVID is being like, it's political to wear a mask or not. You know what I mean? Like even global warming, like, you see those like giant pickup trucks that have those like giant exhaust things that blow out more smoke necessary. To make a stance. Like, I don't know. It's just very discouraging. So I try to stay positive. I read
and I can relate. I can totally relate. Yeah.
So happy news. The gay penguins, I don't know which zoo they're at, but they got an egg and they bonded with the hatchling. So they
my gosh!
I'm trying to focus on positive news.
Right? You're like, I've been watching Shark Week. I've been doing everything. That's pretty freaking cool, though. So that kind of shows you how, no matter what our species is, and even in animal life, like they're not, they're not being confined to what, what everybody thinks is normal, or even, I mean, I guess I'm not an animal, I'm not a penguin, so I don't know if that's normal to them, if it's not. But the fact that now they're able to be parents, and that they've attached to, and they both have that in them innately to be able to, breed, or I don't, what do you call it? Not breed, but what is it? Hatch? Hatch. What did you say? Oh, that's so cute. That's like the TV show, Atypical. Have you watched that?
Yes, that's my favorite. I love that.
Love him, but that just totally reminded me how he was talking about the penguins. And in that show, I think there was a hatch, like there was a baby penguin. Oh my gosh, I love that show. I've always meant to kind of research to see if the character, the actor, is really on the spectrum.
Sure. But did you see that Netflix came out with a reality show about people on the spectrum?
Yes.
Love. I loved it so much because they obviously like showed so much respect for every single person that was on the show. But I just loved watching how they navigated dating. I thought it was beautiful.
Well, it reminds me very much of I remember my mom used to be a TA assistant, and this was when I was like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and she would take me to work with her. Well, actually, where she taught at, there was a preschool, so I would go to preschool for a couple hours, then I'd go hang out with her and her students. And I vividly remember, I know that they were okay back then, guys. We called them slow. You called them mentally. I want to say the R word, but this was in the 80s. So, I strictly, oh, you put the penguin up there. That's so cute. Thank you. That is so sweet. All hail to the penguins. We should take some freaking, take some advice and just learn a lesson from the penguins. Look how cute that is, though. Oh, I think I want a penguin tattoo now. Thanks. Thanks. So,
yes.
Yes. Hey, it would go along with, I haven't seen you since, but my Dory tattoo.
Oh.
That I have on my thigh. I've since added Squirt and Crush. And they're huge. Like,
okay.
Yeah, the dad starts on the back of my thigh and comes all the way. Yeah. And once again, thanks to hubby and my tattoo artist who made the decision for me. But it looks awesome. But maybe I'll add a little penguin to that. I like that. I like the little penguins. That's cute. Well, look at us. I'm not even on topic here. We're gonna get our spark and salutation here, but let me go ahead, and I have 2 quotes for today, guys. This is a little bit different. I know normally I have 1 quote, but I feel that both of these quotes are imperative to to read and to put out there for people to kind of like chew the fat on, think about, digest it, and see how it really pertains to you. So the first one is going to be from a gentleman who I cannot believe it's been 6 months since he's passed, and of course that's Kobe. Many of you may know, we just celebrated his birthday. His birthday was just on the 23rd. He would have only been 42 years old, and that day it really it just stayed in my mind. He just stayed on my thoughts in my mind, because there's been people that have come out and said he knew that he was going to pass early because he felt like he had done everything that he was supposed to do. And so when I think about that, like, wow, he wasn't even 42. And I get the feeling that he was very resolute and probably wasn't afraid of passing. Very similar to, we were watching Vlad TV, which is one of our like regular things we watch, and he's interviewing E40, and E40 said the same thing about Tupac. And if you think about it, when Tupac passed, he passed, and then I Ain't Mad at Your video came out, which had him in heaven, walking around heaven with Red Fox and, Miles Davis and all this. So it's kind of like, I wonder if people know, so it's pretty deep, but we're not going to get all sad here. But yeah, so the first quote is going to be from, Black Mamba himself, Mr. Kobe Bryant. And the reason why I'm using him is because I just feel that we all kind of remembered this, with his birthday. We all kind of dug deep and just remembered how inspirational and motivational he was, and his work ethic. How he kind of made being like what they call it, dad to girls, but they call it something, a girl dad or something like that. Like, made that something that it's okay for men to sit down and comb their baby's hair now, or to sit and, play a tea party or whatever it is. And I'm sure that fathers were doing that before, but just seeing somebody like Kobe, knowing that he had that great relationship with his daughters is an awesome thing. So, yeah, I just, want him to know that we have not forgotten him. And I am very overwhelmed actually right now, kind of looking through the quotes, because it just reminds you how, I don't want to say how perfect, but just how focused he was and how assured he was. And we all should just strive to be able to be just an inkling of what he was. So I think I'm going to use this. The magic in life is finding what it is that you love. When you find that thing that you love, then life makes sense. For me, it was basketball. I love that because I'm all about passion and purpose. I think that once you are able to identify what your passion is, then you're easily able to define what your purpose is. And then living in that passion and purpose really helps to make your life and the quality of your life so much better. And that's something that I think that he grasped onto very early. So Kobe, thank you for the just one out of like a trillion little, nuggets of wisdom and inspiration and motivation that you've left us with. So that is the first, by Mr. Kobe Bryant. The second is by Malcolm X. I want to give a little explanation as to why I am, using this. And I think if everybody should know, unfortunately, another Black man was assaulted. I'm calling it attempted assassination because that's simply what they are doing to Black men and Black women. They are assassinating us in just enormous numbers. The unjust and inequality, the ferociousness of how they're attacking us, just the hate that's behind it is strong, and it's very sad. And unfortunately, we have had another situation where a young Black man by the name of Jacob, I want to say Brown, is that correct? Nope. Jacob, and please forgive me, Blake. I apologize. Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in his back. As he was getting in the car with his 3 children in the car. He is unfortunately, he's with us. That is a blessing. And I'm just hoping and praying that he pulls through. However, as of right now, this man is paralyzed. I am sick to death. Sick to death. I'm not sad anymore. And this is exactly what, this quote's going to be. I'm not sad. I'm not awestruck. I'm not in disbelief. I'm pissed. And I think that's where we're all kind of getting right now. And, if we know anything about, a revolution, if we know anything about making change, it happens when a group of individuals become angry. And their mindset and their game plan on how they approach something completely changes. And that is definitely on the horizon for us. I see it. Perfect example.
Case in point of what you're talking about right now is the NBA players set tonight out. That's why players sit tonight out and not playing. That's
what I was just about to say. I mean, once again, I think when we first found out that the NBA had, stopped all games at the beginning of the coronation, we were all like, wait, if the NBA is stopping their money, this is serious. Well, look at what's happening now. All these players were pushing to get back to have their season. And they were the ones who said, you know what? I am no longer going to be entertainment while there's the lives of Black women and Black men being taken just at the drop of the hat. That to me was so extremely powerful. And oh, that's cool, Bad Taco. That's cool. That's awesome. What the hell? Okay, so sorry. Thank you. Who's Bad Taco? Oh, well, thank you, because I thought you meant something else, and I was about to get a little Aries and a little saucy with you. But yes, we are about to blow that loud, being that it is spark and salutation. So let me quick run it off at the mouth here, because this whole situation is very, it's one that invokes a lot of feelings and emotions. But let's go ahead and get into this quote, which is provided to us by Malcolm X. And Malcolm X is, I don't care what your thought of him is, if you aren't completely knowledgeable about what exactly his movement was or what he did, go ahead and take some time and educate yourself, because he wasn't a bad guy like everybody, portrays him to be. So this quote is, usually when people are sad, they don't do anything. They just cry over their condition. But when they get angry, they bring about a change. And that's exactly what I'm saying. It is a change going on. We are on the horizon of people finally giving up, throwing up their hands in anger, and wanting to make a change by any means necessary. And I feel very strongly that that is the way to go, because they're not going to stop. It hasn't stopped since since George Floyd. It has not. Way before that. But, I think that was like that was the antithesis of things happening and people saying, I'm done, I'm tired. I mean, we were surprised when we saw, a protest going on in Auburn. Auburn, people. Look, people of Auburn, don't get mad at me, but I've grown up here for a very long time. And Auburn was never really the place that you would think that they were going to go ahead and stand up and stand for rights for those of Black people. The fact that you are, so much appreciated. But, the fact that there were protests from the West Coast to the East Coast, and even in other parts of the world, it spoke volumes. So it just kind of felt like the catalyst, of something starting. Within a week or two of George Platt passing, there were 12 more murders. 12 that the media didn't cover, that they tried to brush under the rug. And that infuriates me, because your job as media and journalists is to be completely objective and to deliver the news, not to take sides, and definitely not reporting. It spoke volumes to me as to whose side you were taking. So right now, as a country, we're cracking more and more. It's disheartening. It's a little scary. But deep down inside, I know that, as a race, we are very resilient people. I have to say, not that, Bree, not that non-melanated people aren't, but let's just say, melanated people, we have an extra strength that's within us, Yeah, we overcome some things, and we continue to overcome some things. Yeah. No matter what, we still smile and we laugh, and, we are still who we are down to the core. But the fact that I have nothing but men in my household, well, a man and 2 boys, it terrifies me that I have to tell my 9-year-old, I have to teach him now, stand in place, don't move, don't talk, because that could end his life if he's doing that with, an asshole cop who decides that he wants to go ahead and pull out his gun. That terrifies me. That's very scary. And I don't think that that's very fair, that Black mothers and Black fathers are having to raise their children like that in 2020. So I can definitely, get on my my soapbox. I know that with the NBA players citing tonight that, proclaiming that they were not going to play, and it looks like they're probably deciding on whether the season's going to continue, which I think is awesome, because in my opinion, it didn't need to happen anyway. I think we can all take a year off from what we were doing last year, really concentrate on us, concentrate on, people becoming better. I mean, I've seen so many entrepreneurs pop up over these last 6 months. That's a positive thing. So I think that if we were able to just cut everything else out, nobody needs to go back to school. Let's not do it. We don't need to open the clubs right away. We don't need to have concert tours. We don't need to have NFL. We don't need any of that right now. What we need to do is we need to really repair on what is broken within our country and with our society. I know that you and I have had very long conversations. Spark and salutations, everybody. And how do you feel? I mean, I would love to hear. You're not a Karen, so you're not on that type. But for somebody that you and hubby and your family, you have a different outlook and a different mindset, and one that I wish that you could just call all your fellow non-melanated people together in one hall and then just give them a few tips. Like I just wish. So I'll start the question off like this. Do you get offended when people say there is such thing as white privilege?
Oh, no, like I do not get offended. That is 100% real. There is white privilege. 100%. I do not have to fear the police the same way that you do. It's ugly to say, but it's true. Like, I don't have to experience being followed around in a store by like store clerks. I like when I was a teenager, of course, but not even to the same degree, of course. So like I'm even saying that, like even then it's not even to the same degree. So I definitely think white privilege is a real thing. And like it's hard because like the communities where there is so much hatred, where there is so much racism, it's so evident that they have never interacted with a person of color. The only thing that they have seen is on TV, and TV portrays people of color very negatively. The news, it's always a person of color shooting another person of color. Or
like, I love Law and Order, but if I see one more black man on there as a freaking just basic street criminal, like, are you serious? And I love Law and Order. I mean, Law and Order's been on for 30 plus years. This thing is on 30 years. God damn. Good job, NBC. But do an episode, and people, if you take offense to this, it's only because it's true. But do an episode where it's all about opioids, and there's somebody selling opioids. Let's see what ethnicity they would be. Like I'm just saying, like let's level the playing field, because there's criminals and there's bad people of all walks and sizes and ethnicities and races, not just black men, not just the black women who are the girlfriends or the wives or the mothers of these men that have committed these crimes, and they're staying steadfast. That's not them, and their hair is barely combed, and there's like it infuriates me, we need to start changing those, of course, within our everyday lives. But if we start changing the what we put out there and what we portray, then maybe mindsets can be changed. Maybe. But yeah, I mean, has there ever been a situation? I had a couple of friends of mine from college and whatnot that they were the only white person in the car or something like that, and maybe pulled over or something like that, and they of course were treated with preference, and everybody else was treated like they were Pablo Escobar. Has that ever happened to you? Have you been able to kind of not firsthand experience it, because of course it wasn't directly happening to you, but be present when an injustice like that occurred?
I mean, the first time I experienced it, I went to high school right outside of Detroit, and my best friend, she lived in Detroit. She's of color. And I like slept over at her house, and her dad drove me home, and I lived in the suburbs, and we got pulled over because there was a older black man with a white girl, like a white 12-year-old girl.
My.
Yeah. So like, I'm so glad my friend was in the car, because she was like, no, that's my dad. Like,
that's my dad. Yeah. Yeah.
Not
our pimp, I promise.
Like, we're cool. We're cool here. Nothing bad's happening. But I also went to college in Chicago, and yeah, it's really fucked up. After
Chicago, especially. Yeah.
Yeah. After living in Chicago, it definitely woke me up to the injustices in the world. I was a teacher, and I had kids in my classroom where the parents were police officers, and the way that people of color were described by the students, because they heard their parents saying it, was awful. We had to have class discussions about how we don't use the words monkey or ape to describe.
Oh my gosh. And they were what, 4th, 5th graders?
No, this is when I was doing kindergarten.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. We had to have those conversations with kindergarten students that like, yeah, like imagine a kindergarten being called a monkey and like having to like tell the parents that. Like I cried because it was
I'm seriously choking back tears because I just saw my boys in kindergarten and they just want to be friends. They didn't know anything other than that was the boy, that was the girl. We like to play cards together. I like to go play golf. Like that's it until, and they're sponges. So while they're sitting there playing with their dolls and you're sitting here spewing all this hate, they're gathering that. They're placing that, in their memory banks. And then all they do is regurgitate, what they hear. So
yeah. And like I was teaching 8th grade when Trump like just became president.
Oh, yeah.
And we were doing just like talking about the news, and there was again people of color, like there were students of color in my classroom, and then there was also police officer children. There's a lot of police officers in Chicago.
Chicago, yeah, I feel like that's all they do
in the classroom, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we started talking about white privilege when we started talking about. It was about how when Trump was saying that like teachers should have weapons in the classroom to protect students. And one student brought up about how teachers of color don't want to have a weapon in the classroom because their fear is that they're going to be mistaken as the bad person.
Exactly.
And all of the students whose parents were police officers had a very hard time grasping that concept. It was such a difficult conversation because I can't voice my opinion. And I can't like your parents are kind of molding you to think some bad thoughts.
Open your
eyes a little.
I mean, that makes it tough. I know that the hubby, you haven't had to deal with anything like that because they're older. Of course, he is at a more urban school. They're teenagers, so he deals with things at a different level.
I would also say that they probably also be maybe other way in terms of them. Because they haven't been around a lot of people of other colors, then they have misconstrued ideas and philosophies also.
Yeah.
Like all white people do this or all Asians do that. I mean, unfortunately stereotypes they cross color lines.
Yeah, they definitely do. And what's so amazing to me is especially, let's say kindergarten through 4th, 5th grade, they're watching Disney Channel. They're watching, Cartoon Network or whatever. And, even on a Disney show, maybe it is a Hannah Montana. There is always at least one, person of color or, 2 friends. Maybe there's, a Latina and then, a Black person or whatever. But at that age, they just like that character. They don't see that. So then when it's implemented into their mindset, that has to actually be pretty jarring for a young, mind and how you're developing, your sense of self and how you see the world. Like that has to be pretty jarring. And now that I think about it, I wonder if that's ever been the cause of any kind of like PTSD for anybody. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, like maybe they struggle, once they got into work environment, they had a couple of friends there that are Black, they go to lunch with them, blah, blah, blah. But they still deep down have this, this mindset because of what they were always taught. So I'm wondering if that's kind of a form of trauma.
Well, I was watching a tattoo show the other day, and the guy he was getting tattoos removed for free, and he had a racist tattoo, and he was like, "Well, it's from when I was a kid, and I went to jail early, hung around the wrong crowd, and now I hate that my daughter even sees this." He was white, obviously, but he was like, "I hate that my daughter even sees this," so he was trying to get it covered. Actually,
Can
it was
you
a
hear
rerun.
Him? Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure.
It was a rerun of Ink Masters. It was a rerun of Ink Masters.
Dave Navarro is awesome.
I read something that said like the first thought you have is what you were taught, and the second thought you have is what you truly think. Like it's your evolved.
Wow.
So like even like I'm trying to think of an example, like crossing the street when like you see like someone like walking towards you.
Mhm.
And it's
Mhm.
like you just do that out of habit because like you were just like told to do it, and you have to be like, all right, wait, like why am I actually in danger? Like I have to take
Yeah.
you have to like assess
Yeah.
the situation,
Yeah.
and have that second thought of like, am I in danger or am I actually okay?
Yeah.
Is it
So
just a reaction?
it kind of sounds like your common sense takes over.
Yes.
It's innate within us that we know right from wrong. Oh, whoa, that is such a crazy idea. But that is a perfect example of it. I can attest to that. Growing up in Elk Grove, I definitely used to have people that would say things, and I have to look at them like, that's pretty fucked up what you said, right? And of course they didn't. And, they would be so apologetic, and I could, thinking back as an adult, thinking back now, I could see their brain working and like their emotions, and they were so conflicted. I wonder if something happens, because I know that some of those same individuals have said stuff to me as an adult on Facebook. Or one guy, for example, said something that almost had his little brother in the frat. He was on a flight from Atlanta to come whoop this dude's ass. Like, he was so out of pocket. And I was just like, dude, I've known you since freaking 7th grade, And so it's just like, what happened to you where either you dropped the facade that you showed me from 7th grade through 12th grade, or something happened where it all of a sudden made your racist mindset okay for you?
I mean,
I think like, I'm going to live in my truth.
I think that's even when it's more scary, when you have adults or even like my high school students that still have these misconceived ideas, because it is not so much coming from their parents, like the kindergartners that Bree was teaching, because all their media is just happy stuff. So if they're hearing anything negative, it's coming from the parents.
Yeah.
But in terms of the adults or like the high school kids, all their media, it's more of racist or stereotypical stuff that they see, the stuff they see on TV. Like On My Block was a show that they watched, and they were
it's a lot of everything. Like, we had things that were actually kind of censored for us. Like, I think we were talking about it before. Like, you would watch a movie with your parents and it'd be a sex scene, and they're like, close your eyes, and you're like, I can spread my fingers.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think that I was affected, negatively by that. But I think that the access to so much information and the fact that it's not filtered out is what causes some of that.
Well, I mean, Facebook has been linked to like QAnon, which is just like a bunch of bullshit. Like, Facebook's been linked to like all these different conspiracy theories, like anti-vaxxing, like all of the very unsafe and unnecessary conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like Antifa, where do you think they've gone?
Groups and like all the Facebook ads and all of the Facebook information. Because if you click on one thing, you get more information about that. And like,
and we all know, all of us that are around 4 years ago, we saw proof of how easy that was. We had no idea that for 24 months we were being inundated with, false ads and things like that on Facebook that we were on every day. Every day they were.
How many times have you said something and then you see the ad like that?
Right there,
freak you out always.
Or when we're talking about a movie, or something like that, and I go like, let's say, no, that's not the line in the movie, and I pick up my phone and all I do is type in A, and the entire fucking sentence of what we were just talking about pops up. Come on. It's alarming, but we become so used to it. Like, right now, if I had something to find out, I would ask Auntie Google, like I call her.
Think about it.
I've always thought that it was interesting that people think that Facebook is not going to be on the side of the minority in terms of ideas and things like that, because it was started by, no offense, but it was started by a nerd that had no
very
friends.
Sad, heartbroken.
He started because a girl broke up with him and things like that. So it's always about, to me, it started being about that other side, or being like, look, I may not be like everybody else, but I'm still someone. Yeah. So,
and I think it probably started like that, and then once it got big, I mean, as you see in the movie, and of course he said the movie wasn't what it was, and everybody else was like, that's exactly how it was. But I think that as his ego changed and he started to become a little more of a celebrity, and his although he still dresses like he's going to recycle, his t-shirt is like a $5,000 t-shirt.
Yep.
And even if it's not, he put that money away, but it became image based. And it's really funny when you said that, because MySpace was prior to that. MySpace was just more of who's my friend. Remember your top 8 and your top 16? I used to spend hours.
And then they added to 32. They kept on making it bigger and bigger because it started off at like 4.
Yeah. So that was kind of like the catalyst. That was the pre. And then Facebook just blew it up, where it made it where we are who we are now, where it's all about the image that we're putting out there. I remember getting Facebook and people on MySpace. I had a handful. I mean, I had 1,000 in my graduating class. So let's just say I had maybe 100 people. But once I got on Facebook and I started seeing, I was like, ooh, I look better than her. Ooh, yeah. Shit like that. Like how quickly that becomes our mindset, and how it's like a cancer. It's like when you work in an office and you have that one person that's just so fucking negative, like that shit spreads like wildfire. That's what it did. Like it spread like the corona, like it completely changed who we are as a society, and where we put our value, where exactly we put our self-worth and our value. Yeah.
Like also like looking at like the incel community, like that is like in and itself an interesting like mindset to have. That
where do you develop like, I now have the right to hurt somebody because this girl wouldn't talk to me, or people never talk to me? Well, did you ever try to talk to a girl? Because I'm sure there was some mousy little girl or somebody that was your level that liked you, but because you were so socially awkward and you don't have the confidence, which is what it really boils down to, you now want to have this privilege of hate. This it's my right to be this weirdo asshole. And I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. There's no other way to explain it. But yeah, I mean, speaking of Law and Order, I think that's where we very, very first learned about that group and that lifestyle.
Oh, and you were almost exactly right. September 13th, 1990, first episode. So,
what?
Law and Order.
Law and Order. Oh, damn, I'm good.
30 years and 2 more weeks.
If this was trivia, I would have won that one.
That's what we do.
2 weeks away from being 30 years. And Mariska Hargitay, she's been on there since like episode 1.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Ask Auntie Google.
I'll ask Auntie Google.
Okay. I think that she's been on there I think she's been on there all 30 years.
No. It started off with like an all-male cast, and the female was a light-skinned chick with like curly hair, but she stayed in like the office most time. She wasn't even the one doing the cases. It had Mr. Big. Mr. Big was
Mr. Big. Yeah, Mr. Big was the lieutenant. Damn, she wasn't on there then? I feel like she got on there like episode 3.
She's Law and Order Special Victims. She never even was on Law and Order.
Oh, well, I had the special. Oh, so Law and Order is 30 years.
Correct.
Special Victims. Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, now it's just special victims. They had Law and Order Cupcakes, Law and Order
like
Pet Crimes, Law and Order Sex Crimes.
Law and Order.
The real life Law and Order. Yeah, the true crimes. The Law and Order from the criminal's perspective. Then the one with Anthony Anderson. And Rolling with the Homies, the dude from Clueless.
When they did it from like the attorney's
LA. Yes.
Like
oh, good Lord. What's the guy's name?
Rolling with the Homies?
No, the creator.
Dan Fox, Michael J. Fox, something Fox.
Dick Wolf or
Dick Wolf. There you go.
Never mind. It wasn't no Fox at all.
This is why we're dangerous at trivia.
Wolf is close to Fox, so you weren't there.
Yeah, Mr. Wolf.
It was an animal. I knew that.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox. Yeah, you're all the guy from Back to the Future. He did all the Law and Orders. No, but Mr. Wolf, I think you've gotten it. I think that maybe there's probably one more season of Law and Order. I think, even though
it's gonna happen,
I mean, even though they say it's not based on true stories, I'm like, this is totally the, Natalie Holloway case. Like, what are you talking about? Like, okay, you guys could give that little, preemptive notice, but this is exactly Black Lives Matter or whatever. So
1999.
1999
Special
victims. Damn, it seems like it's been her and Stabler forever.
I mean, that is forever. That's just about as long as we've been married.
Can I just make an appeal to the Chris Maloney? Please come back as Stabler. Like, whenever the last season is, just come back. It doesn't have to be the whole season. It could be half the season. Just come back, and then you and Liv, like, you know, actually get it on, because there was all that sexual tension. And
Did
then
they ever end up getting together?
No, I think they came close to kissing once.
They might have kissed when one of them was like drunk or something like that.
I was
like
gonna say one of them was
season.
I think it's when he was having like a hard time, and she was like, "Oh, we can't do this," or whatever. It's when she had the really boy haircut.
And she was like, "I know your wife."
And then he left like shortly after that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Love him in that. Love him in Harold and Kumar even more.
That was when he had the big nose.
Yeah. Do you know who he played in Harold and Kumar? Bree?
No.
Okay, so do you remember when they got picked up by the guy on the side of the road who had like the pussing freaking boils on his neck?
Oh.
And that's
and then they took him to his wife.
And his
tried
wife
to hit on
was
him.
like Bob and shit, and she was like, "So you gonna fuck me?" Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Oh, I
He
didn't
was also
know that.
on
Oz.
He was on Oz. He was in True Blood?
As well on True Blood.
In the last few seasons.
Oh, he was.
A
He didn't
vampire?
have he wasn't like a main.
No, he wasn't a main vampire. He was like the half vampire, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or like evil vampire. It's been such a long time.
Yeah. Oh, I could watch True Blood again.
Yeah, we haven't watched it in a while.
Didn't he leave Law and Order because he wanted to get paid more money and they wouldn't pay him more?
And like everybody says, I want to get into movies, and it's like, well, what movie scripts do you have? What exactly is this?
Haven't seen him in that much since Law and Order. Other than Harold and Kumar.
He's been on Netflix stuff. He's in that the summer camp, the 80s summer camp. He's in that.
I mean, he's a good actor though. He's a great actor. When he was in Oz, he was a straight gay dude.
Man, in Oz. Woo! Him and what was his name? Toby?
That was the guy's name on the show, yeah.
Man. I know that I was never going to a man's prison, but Oz definitely was like scared straight for me. Like that shit was crazy. Idris Elba was on there too, yeah?
No.
Idris Elba wasn't on
Adebisi was not Idris Elba.
I'm not thinking Adebisi. I thought Idris Elba was on there.
Nope.
Well, the other guy that was on Law and Order, the cop who like lived kind of the guy that's in the the insurance commercials now.
The Irish dude. He was
Irish. The Irish dude. Yeah.
His brother was
Cyril.
Cyril was his brother.
Oh, such a good show. Oh my God, HBO, you've had good shows. So really good damn shows. Yeah. So speaking of, did you ever watch the TV show The Wire?
No.
Okay, so I never did. Never wanted to watch it. We're like, I don't want to see this. I've been with my husband 1,000 years. And he's watched it like 4 times each one of those years. So it's been 4,000 times that he's.
Not true. I've watched it 4 times in the last 2 years.
Also not been
No, I'm just saying it's only been 2. I've only watched it for like 2 years. I've just watched it repeatedly over these last 2 years. I didn't watch it when it was on. I didn't see it.
Well, since we've had streaming, you've watched it
5, 6 times.
I think Vince put it on Plex, so I think you've watched it 3.
Yeah, a lot, but I'm just saying it's within the last few years.
We've definitely watched Sons of Anarchy. I've watched that 70s show and New Girl many more times, so I can't complain. But
Sons I've seen like 10 times.
He got me into it. You know, normally when one of us is out of the room for a while and we come back in and somebody's watching something that we don't watch together, we turn it. And he was like, not gonna do that. So I found myself just like slowly getting into it. And like I'd be in the shower and I'm like, I wonder what's gonna happen to this character, you know, shit like that. So I will say The Wire, great show. I get why everybody like absolutely loved it. Yeah, Idris Elba was on there. Super great show. That's another dope show. Yeah, Big Love, another really good one.
Yes.
Love that one too. Oh,
100%.
I mean, it ended so stupid, but Big Love was really good. Yeah, so that's kind of off the topic. So yes, so the go ahead and let's talk a little bit about, you know, fill us in on what is going on with Monthleaf. And you know, I know you've expanded. You are looking to expand even more. I know you said you're hiring some people. Let's just jump back into that and kind of like let everybody know what's been going on. You have any special boxes coming up? Is there a Mary J. Maven box? Like, what's going on?
I would love that. No, we have
It'd be fire.
I love that. We have a new website up for Monthleaf, which is really exciting. It took us a bit of time to get it perfected, but we really love how it turned out. And then we're in the process of getting our other site up. It's just taking a long time with COVID. It has stopped or made things move a lot slower. So
we're waiting on 2 websites to be completed right now, and
Yeah.
one we've been waiting like 4 months, and I could have sworn I was like, they bamboozled us, and they're like, no, literally, we can't, like, it's COVID, we don't have anybody that's doing the web design or whatever it is, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's just taking a really long time, but I don't know, it's been really exciting. We've been working with some marketing agencies to start different marketing programs during this time. We did do a campaign on Pornhub for a bit, and that was a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
Coming up with all like the dad puns and all of like the little jokes that we could make on the side of Pornhub.
So I will just say that maybe somebody has a partner account with Pornhub, and maybe somebody will be talking about Monthleaf and giving out her discount code as well. So you probably still will be getting some traffic from Pornhub. We've got a lot of different sponsors lately. I'm doing a lot of like kind of different affiliate marketing, which I want to do a whole episode on and let people know a different way to put some money in your pocket. But yeah, there might be some, I need to probably talk to you about a couple of things that would probably really benefit you guys there as well, like thinking out of the box. Have you thought about starting an affiliate program, like a very stringent kind of affiliate influencer program?
So we have a brand ambassador program right now. Each referral so someone can get set up with a promo code. Each person that they refer with that promo code and it's used, the original person gets $25 for each time that code is used. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, and then for our social media influencers, I know some of them do have fixed rates, but we do love sending a box to influencers, people on social media, so that way they can post about it.
Yeah.
We sent a box recently to a photographer, and she made this really cute GIF online. So it's just like really cool to see what people are coming up with once they get our box. The creativity that flows once they see all the products in our box.
You should work with Tyler Therapy. Yeah. I think that'd be awesome. I know. Get out of my brain. Get out. We said at the same time. I don't know if you remember her being on. She was on the podcast as well. We follow each other. Like we post a lot. But I think that'd be awesome. I can definitely get you connected with her. Yeah. She has a lot. She got on TikTok and within, less than a month, she was at 30,000 followers. Yeah. I'm gonna pull up her, and then she her Instagram. Let's see how many followers she has on there. Her YouTube is crazy as well. So I think that'd be a really good partnership for you to work with her. I know you, Savannah. She had received one, right? Mm-hmm. Before. Yeah, Savannah. I love her.
Box. We sent a couple other people in the community a box. So it's been really great to see what people are posting. The creativity that is coming out of these pictures has been pretty great. But
yeah, I'm jotting down a few ideas. Remind me when we're all done to share them with you, because I think that if you got an influencer from that fit a different niche, or niche, how some people might say it, that would definitely help to broaden your brand your brand awareness, and then just drive more traffic to you, and then possibly bring more collabs to you, which will just make it even easier. Where maybe you would be able to just stick with where you are now and not have to come up with like a budget to work with an agency or something. This is just your girl trying to help out, save you some coins. So just the way I think.
I appreciate that. And then also we've just been working on how we can do more for the community, how we can work with the community. We're looking at programs that we can start initiating that will help those that are homeless, that will help those that need it in our community, because with COVID, many people have lost their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Many people are in a very unstable place. Those that are homeless, it's even more difficult with the homeless shelters, with the resources. There's not many volunteers at the food shelters.
No, because people are like, I need the food myself.
Yeah,
you know,
people want to stay safe. They don't want to go because they can't social distance there. I don't blame anyone.
Yeah.
But like then there's less volunteers and less people donating. So like we're trying to make our company more impactful to the community. So that's what we've been spending a lot of our resources trying to figure out how to execute properly, correctly, in the best way.
Well, I got you there too. I already have a couple of ideas where you can work. You'd be kind of hitting a couple of different social issues, or at least locally. I think if you worked within the Oak Park area and you worked with, some of the businesses that are owned by like Kevin Johnson, that would be a great opportunity for you. But I don't know if you know this, but the fantastic mayor of Sacramento, opened the open air homeless, campsite, and opened it right around the corner from Sacramento High School, which is right there in Oak Park. So, beneficial to you and what you're trying to do. They're right there on W Street, right under the overpass, like coming, into Oak Park. It reminds me of Skid Row. Like, it is very apparent. Like, they were barbecuing one day when we drove by, like straight barbecue grill, but So, definitely have some ideas of how you can do that as well. But I knew that I think it was our second time. No, it was our first time actually meeting in person. And you expressed, without me even bringing up it or anything, like you just expressed that you saw, your company being one that would be able to help within the equity of getting, women of color and people of color within the industry. And that said so much to me, because you basically said, I'm willing to kind of put my business on the line to help others. And that's awesome, and that just definitely speaks to who you are. Yeah. And that's what we want. That's what people of color, that's what Black people want. That's what brown people want. We want allies. We're not saying that it's us against you. And of course I'm not speaking to you, but the audience out there, but we definitely want to have, everybody wants to bring in, Cat Williams said this: if you don't have a white friend, get yourself one. I don't know if you guys saw that stand up, but he's like, they will, be on the phone like, murder. He didn't murder anybody. I've known him for 3 weeks. Like, have your back. And I think it's not about color. It's just about human kindness and people being empathetic and being kind. And, all those little things that we were taught on Sesame Street and all that good stuff. Like, that's what makes, relationships, and that's what makes our society stronger and better. It's very simplistic ways of treating people and being respectful and understanding that we all bleed, and, we're all born the same way, and we all, get put in the same hole, or, maybe cremated or whatever it may be, but we all leave the same way. So it's, if there's anybody else out there that is like, what can I do? It's very simple. Just support. Support businesses like brands, support Black owned businesses, especially within the cannabis, industry and sector. Women and women of color, please support. Make sure that if your children picks up a bad habit from that friend on the, on the Zoom call, I was going to say playground, but they're not on the playground, that you in that relationship, and that you teach your kid without coddling them what exactly the problem was. Speak to them like they're human beings. Everything has to be age appropriate, but kids are a lot damn smarter than what we were. So, I think sometimes when we say things, they're probably looking at us like, all right, bitch, sure. All right. A big fat man comes down the chin of me. Sure. And he brings me this, not that you guys weren't up wrapping presents all night last night, but sure, there's a Santa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that they probably call our bluff more than what we think. And so that kind of plays into the world that we live in right now. It doesn't hurt to be 100% transparent in whatever level that you feel comfortable with, but let's not feed them, crap, and let's not let bad behavior progress.
No, 100%. Like, I know while entering this space that like historically this is not my space. Cannabis has been a industry for people of color for a very long time. So like I am very aware of that. So like with building the business and everything, I created it so it doesn't. It's not all about me. It's about the company. It's about the businesses that we're supporting, the businesses that we're partnering with. It's about supporting the whole community because that's what I'm here to do is just provide my resources, provide my help, and like let the people that need to shine.
Yeah. And speaking of that, you partner with companies that are owned by people of color. Would you like to share the local delivery service that you work with?
Yes. So Trees of Knowledge in Sacramento. That is my favorite dispensary to shout out to because they are owned by people of color. In Oakland, we have Only Good Weed. We have Cannabis on Fire. We have Green on the Go. We have Mountain Lion Delivery.
Uh-oh.
And I am blinking on one of them, and I'm sorry. There's
one. If you remember sometime during this, would you mind sending those names to the producer in the chat so that we can make sure that we shout them out as well? I just spoke about this with Tiffany Watkins, Lady Canna. Do you know who she is?
Yes.
Yeah, good friend of mine. Very funny. She runs the brand educator program for Old Pal, and I like signed on with Old Pal right before the COVID, and my regional actually was hired by her. So it was very funny when I got to tell her. We did an episode the other day. She said it, so I think it's okay for me to say that she's on the board for the NCIA, which is huge. I mean, I started crying when she said that because somebody that's been in the game as long as her and what she's gone through as far as the advocacy side and the legal side of it, her wealth of knowledge and her passion is just exactly what we need. So to have people like that are able to make a difference. But we were talking about how even though Sacramento is where all the decisions are being made because of the government, we're so far behind the Bay Area. They have so many more success stories than what we do. And I mean, just by case in point, the number of people, of partners that you have here versus what you work with in Oakland.
There's so many more dispensaries in Oakland. There's so many more opportunities in Oakland.
Yeah, they've been doing equity rights, for a while. I mean, they've had their hiccups, but they are resolute and they are, they stay very persistent about making this equity program exactly how it should be. And when you have different entities and organizations and corporations and brands, such as like the Infused brand, I don't know if you guys recall that I talked about them in the first episode. They have the gummies and the inhaler. They're one that works with organizations in the Bay Area that are all about the, inclusion and diversity and the advocacy and, changing the legal aspects and the medical aspects of it, and so it's nice to have that support. And I think that's what makes, the Bay Area, Oakland, San Francisco specifically, so much more advanced than where Sacramento is right now. Were you ever conflicted? I know you moved here, you didn't move to the Bay, but were you ever conflicted about, do I really want to start my cannabis business here? Or should I start it where it's popping a little more? And then hubby has some questions.
It's a toss up, I mean, you can always think about what could have been if you went somewhere else. I mean, I left Illinois and then a couple months later, Illinois legalized.
I mean, just went, woo, here we go.
I'm originally from Canada. Like Canada's legal, so we've also looked at that. But Sacramento made the most sense to us for personal reasons, but then also for business reasons. There is a lot of opportunities in Sacramento, but definitely it's very different in Oakland. Oakland has different issues. Oakland has different experiences. And then also it seems like Southern California is a place to be right now. That seems to be the most poppin' place for cannabis.
Yes, I mean, now that they've cleaned up the 5,200 illegal dispensaries and whatnot, or, they've done enough of the, the raids that they're like, let's just go ahead and close quietly and let's do legit. But of course,
Yeah.
let's remember, LA is so much bigger. It's spread
Yeah.
so much more, but they do have a different culture. Sessions aren't hidden. I think in some of the cities in Southern California, they're
Yeah.
not as open. But they're supported. They do a lot more events, but I think that goes into the LA Hollywood thing. So it's okay for you to have a infused dinner because that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's more the Hollywood thing. So it's definitely easier for them to have, like, let's say, ancillary, oh, ancillary. Yes, other businesses be able, other sectors jump off within the business, like travel and hospitality and whatnot. So, but I know the hubby has a couple of questions here.
Well, I was just wondering, one, what does a company have to like have or do to be in your box?
So for the cannabis products, you do have to, like, if someone has products that they want to put in our box,
Right.
our partner dispensaries have to buy the product because of all the laws. So we work with legal dispensaries that fill the boxes. If someone has like a cupcake business that they want, like, just to put their flyer in, just to, like, for more people to see their information, all they have to do is just message us and send us the flyers and we'll put it in our boxes. If anyone has like accessories that they sell, we work out deals with them, or they can put their accessories in our boxes. So when it comes to the cannabis product, that itself becomes more difficult. But anything else outside of cannabis, we work out deals with people to put their products in our boxes.
And when you say cannabis, is that flower only or even like infused products?
Everything. If there's THC in it, it has to be bought through a dispensary.
Oh, baby, you should totally go get so this one at our Create and Elevate event. Remember, he made all of the what we're making, the infusions that we made that night. I was gonna say we go get the whip. So yeah. Right. So the probably about a week ago, for like 3 nights at like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, what do you do? Why does it smell like weed? He's like, oh, I'm decarbing some flour. He killed it. And I'm going to show you how the whip, the massage oil and the lube that we had, the double, how it should have turned out. It is, yes. So I think maybe that he was getting around to maybe asking that. So, for example, so we have, because this product is fire. Okay. So if we started making our CBD, maybe if we made our CBD, our salve or our lube, we would still have to be a full-on business or meet the the stipulations to be able to be in your box, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if we had pipes and whatnot, then we wouldn't.
Yes, as long as they with pipes and stuff like that, as long as we can guarantee that everyone's safe.
Yeah, I don't, but I'm just asking for clarification. Yeah. I don't have a kiln. I'm just whipping up my pipes. But that's just very good clarification because if I do want to be able to get to that level, throughout my cannabis education, and I believe I shared with you, I am becoming certified as a sex educator and consultant as well. I would love to be able to have lube or whatever it may be that goes with both kind of brands, and being able to have it accessible to someone in a subscription box would be kind of ideal. So
there's a lot of places that you can black label, or is it white label it's called?
Yeah. Is that okay now? Because I know for a while when the regulations and everything changed, they were like white labeling wasn't possible anymore.
I think as long as you have a license number that is associated with who was white labeling it for you, I think you're fine. But don't quote me on that because the laws change so frequently.
Yeah, every day. But I think you're right.
Yes, I'm focused on the delivery laws more, so double check. But I believe that as long as the person that's white labeling it for you has their license name on it, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So, so do you recall where we went to go look at the venue for the Create and Elevate 420 event?
Yes.
So I, my my guys, where I get my medicine, they hold their sessions or their meetups because it's only them at different locations, and they were looking for one location to hold it, and I was trying to hook them up with celebrity, and it didn't work out. But I'm like, dude, you're passing up money. Like, these guys make money. Well, today we get our, where are you guys at today? Are you having a sesh? And they reply with an address, and I was like, I know exactly where that is. So if you look up, I'm going to text you the name of the IG account so that you can see that they are now doing sessions there. And I went today. It is so less spooky than when we went before. Like, I don't feel like
it.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's spirits of slaves in there anymore. Yeah, it's very nice. It's multifunctional. Now, what we were being requested to monetarily put up, I would try to do that now because the space is ready for it. Oh. Yeah. So I thought I'd share that with you, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna text you the name of the IG account so you can see they're doing tonight. But I know that we've always talked about doing an opening for Monthleaf, so maybe we can do something like that. That might actually be a good place if they don't charge an arm and a leg for us to do a another one of our events. So you coming too? Come on. So it was just when I was there today, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish Bree was here. But I talked to him. He was completely cool, and he actually is going to come on the pod next month. So, actually in October. So it's going to be nice to hear his journey, because I know you and I were kind of like, I don't know if this is going to be here in a few months or whatever. But to see him last through COVID is pretty inspirational. Yeah. So I didn't want to. I was like, I gotta remember to tell Bree tonight. So, this is. Oh my gosh, this is a. Yeah, I don't want to break my nail here. Oh, I got it. All right. So you're probably gonna have to put it closer to the camera. I don't know if you can see how thick it is.
Ooh.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Ooh. Yes. What scent is it?
I'm sorry. What did you say, honey? Cut out.
What scent is it?
The scent. You said what? Oh, the scent he used. Okay, so we have an entire freaking. We went to one of my favorite stores one day, and they have like the best selection of essential oils. So we went crazy. Okay, and then went to Target and bought like a whole nother pack. So I know he used black pepper in the lube. And he used Love Potion. I think you said you use lavender or ylang ylang.
Yeah, so it has the black pepper for warming, array of different like citrus, citrus type scents and
he likes citrus a lot.
And something to balance the. Oh no! So the first one she showed you was actually the South. So that one has like like what's a faint like a common essential oil, starts with T or something like that. Turmeric has turmeric in it, and other stuff for like healing was that one. And then the one that she just showed you now, that one is the
lube and massage. I don't know if you can see how like smooth and glistening my hand is. It's great. I'll have to dish you a little out, and you and hubby can get started on the honeymoon. So that's so bad. Yes, so he did a great job, and these were off of our recipes. So yes, so we now have a reference. We will definitely need. Next time we do it, I will not forget the beeswax. I will not forget the shea butter, because that was definitely needed. Even though the recipe was like, you don't have to have it, you can use shea butter. It's so much better with the with the beeswax, and it was a little difficult to find, but once we found it,
Amazon.
Yeah, well, Amazon for everything, but yeah. So
Just like
so it's great. it is, definitely want to, keep with our create and elevate. I definitely want to have a couple more events like this. We could probably do virtually on that one. And, especially because everybody will be at home and they could be next to their mixer. It definitely has to go in the fridge, so my little mistakes in rushing that day caused us to skip little things, but I'm sure everybody's concoction still ended up great.
And also the difference, this isn't using the distillate or.
Oh yeah, we
so
use
this is actual flour.
Okay.
Infused into coconut oil, and then
yeah. So that's even more that's even more digestible for somebody to be able, like we say, if we partnered with Trees of Knowledge, for example, and had a box together and be like, all right, you're going to get an eighth of shake, and you're going to decarb it. And, so I think that actually would be, we should start working on a virtual event, because I think that actually would be really cool to be going through that live and have people put their flour in the ovens, decarb for 25 minutes, and we play a game or do something like that during that time.
Yeah. Chapo Kingdom shake mix works wonders.
You saw what?
Chapo Kingdom.
Yeah, Actually, if we do that, I may try to get the hookup from Chapo, because their shake is fire. Totally just like off topic.
Still have one more question.
Yes, I know you had another question. I'm like Oprah. I remember.
I just had it and it slipped my mind. Come back to me.
It'll come back to you. So I'll keep talking, and then as soon as it comes back. All right. So really quickly.
It came back.
Oh. That was easy.
All right. So last, I think it was. I just watched the episodes, but I think it was the second episode, Popcorn Tamales episode 2. I think that one was around Valentine's Day, and you had the Valentine's Day box. You have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. Do you guys have a special box for one of those 3 holidays?
We are thinking about Halloween right now, but Christmas and Valentine's is what we did last year, so we're trying to keep upping the game for our boxes. So Halloween is on our radar and Thanksgiving's on our radar. We're also looking at changing up the inside of our boxes monthly, just so that way we can work with more local artists. So when we have our Sacramento boxes going out,
that'd be really good.
Is created by a Sacramento
artist. My gosh. And there's so many. So many. That'd be awesome. It'd be really good too, is everybody's into the signs like me and their birthday. Maybe if you had a special birthday box, or based on astrological signs, and the inside of it can, have a whole bunch of rams in it or whatever. Something like that. So nobody steal our ideas. We got this recorded.
On it.
Yes. So that's really good. So with the people that you've hired, are you hiring people that are helping you to kind of come up with those ideas, or these ideas that you're brainstorming, with Dad, or how have you kind of come up with the marketing plan that you have right now?
Definitely through brainstorming with other people, brainstorming with people in the community, doing research. On Thursdays, we have our weekly meetings. Everyone jumps on the Zoom call and we just go through all the stuff that we're working on. And then we have brainstorming sessions. And we're just trying to figure out the best way to get our name out there. So if we can't track results from a marketing strategy, then we take it back and we try to do something different so we can get those results. We can track those results.
Yeah.
So it's just been interesting to see all the creative things we've come up with, the art shows that we've done, doing the billboards. We did some gas station ads. We did porn.
Nice.
So we've just been doing a bunch of different things to get our name out there, and we're having fun with all the different creative ways. And it's going to be interesting to see how we form our outreach program, because it's another way that we can support the community, and get our name out there.
Well, I think you have a great business model for that. Subscription boxes have only grown. Do you remember my very first subscription box that I saw, and I was like, babe, I think I used to follow this blog, and she would follow all the I was like, I want that one and that one and that one. And this was I was still working. So I'm going to say this is like 7 years ago, probably like 6, 7 years ago. And I was like, this is definitely, this is like the wave of the future. And now that everybody, orders Amazon and Postmates and you get everything delivered, why wouldn't subscription box services make sense to you? So I think that's really awesome. You definitely have a great business model to be able to outreach and teach other people, about creating a subscription box service, or even just, opening a business. There's definitely a lot of outreach that you can do other than like community outreach and volunteering and whatnot. You can definitely provide some education and things as well that adds to your brand awareness.
Did you do your website, or did you guys have a web designer design your website?
So we hired 2 web designers to be on our team, web developers to be on our team. So they did this along with someone that we hired to do our marketing. So it was a joint effort with a few of our team members.
Okay, that's good. So you kind of got them as a package deal. That helped. Yeah, good. Have you ever utilized services like Fiverr or?
I used Fiverr to create our logo when I first started the idea.
They get back to you quick, don't they? You could be like $5, and then like somebody from Tel Aviv is hitting you up with like 17 different. Yeah, I did that, but I was kind of like, I can do better on Canva. So
so like I used Fiverr for our logos, but then after that, I was trying to do in-house everything. So like with even with our IT team, everything's like in-house. We're trying to do everything ourselves and not outsource, just because it keeps the budget low when you do it yourself. So like,
do it until you can't do it anymore. Like do it until you physically can't.
Yeah, and like to us, like I truly believe like in the Microsoft, how like how Bill Gates started in his garage with like a shitty computer. He had shitty tools. He was in a hot garage. Like that's what and he's very successful, obviously. So like I feel like we have put out the best that we could, which was very little, and we have been super successful. So we're able to prove that like what we're doing is working, and now we're able to slowly build up a budget and like start, like having better websites, having more marketing opportunities. So like we've been having fun with like building up a budget. We've been having fun being able to do more as we continue to grow. So like having the billboards up, that was a big moment for us, because it was like, yes, like this is powerful. Like when we had the gas station up, the gas station ads up, that was a really cool moment for us.
I wish I would have seen it. Where were the billboards located?
We were all in Oakland.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I didn't see it.
It was Oakland, but like it was just like a cool like moment for us to be like, like we're doing this. Like we got this going on. Are billboards expensive here? I mean, it like definitely. The digital ones are the way to go. To be 100% honest, just because you don't have to pay to print it. That is where it gets hella expensive.
Oh, I didn't even think about. I've never thought about that.
So we didn't really consider. Also, it's hard with cannabis because 78% of the people that see it have to be above the age of 21. And also it has to be privately owned. And of course, if you say cannabis, the price goes up.
Really? And I was under the impression that billboards were the most cost effective and easiest way for cannabis companies to go, because it was just like a burgeoning thing that all of a sudden that's where all the advertising was, 2-3 years ago. Now, you can advertise on yourself, social media, YouTube, whatnot. But I thought that was maybe a cheaper issue, but a cheaper option, and that it wasn't that difficult. But yeah, that all makes sense.
No, if it's a privately owned and you find a good person, it's super easy. It's just difficult to find the privately owned ones that are open. It's kind of like Google and social media. They're just like not open to the idea of cannabis.
Yeah. That's nuts, until like somebody in their family needs it and they're like, I get it. Okay. Well, wow. That is awesome. I'm so happy that, I know that you said, things that kind of slowed down. You had some subscribers that were like, I just can't do it. And I was just kind of, I was hoping and praying and putting all positive energy out there that, you weren't going to have to completely scale back. But it looks like you did your pivot and you did that. And if people wondering why I said it like that. Friends, if you know friends, then you know what I'm talking about. But you definitely adjusted very well. And I think that you've done what we were purposed to do coming out of this pandemic. I've said it before. I think the universe is basically telling us, y'all have a seat. You're screwing it up. You don't have it. I got this. And that we were all supposed to take something away from it. So knowing that you are kind of coming ahead and even improving upon your business and the opportunities, I'm going to give you your roses, girl, your crown. That is awesome.
Thank you.
That is fantastic. Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely mean that. I'm so happy that not only my friend, but work together. Yes.
What's the Instagram video about?
Yes, he was going to ask. He wanted to know what the IG video that you discussed earlier.
Oh yeah, so we sent Stacey Doyle this Monthleaf box, and this is the video that she created. It's a stop motion video, so it's all photography, and I thought it was just really cool that this is what she came up with all on her own.
That's awesome. So let's see. Are you gonna pull it up over there? Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it.
What's fine?
It's smaller. I see it now. That's so cool. That's a really good kind of marketing tool for you, or promotion. Maybe it's to see who can create the best content.
Yeah.
And then get like a couple. I'm just like making decisions for your business. I'm like, and then they get 3 free months of a box, like like I'm on the board or something. This is what we're gonna do. No, that's really cool though. So that's the opportunities that are coming towards you. That's amazing because, I know that you have some competition and there's a couple other boxes out there that are coming out and that are, owned by people of color. But it's not becoming saturated. Oh, that's really cool. Watching
Nug came out with their own box.
They did. Shut up.
Yeah. A couple other people have come out with boxes, and there's enough room in the market. I am not at all worried. There are a ton of makeup subscriptions. There's a ton of gas stations. A lot of intersections. There's like 4 gas stations.
Yeah.
And if they're all able to work out, then like we can work out all too. Like it's fine.
There's an AM PM on every corner. There's a McDonald's. So,
and like it's interesting because we are all approaching the subscription service differently. We all have our foot in it in a different way, so to speak. Like I partner with dispensaries, Nug. They are able to do everything because they have
directly out of their brand.
Yeah. It's just interesting to see how like we're all approaching it and how we're all executing it and how it all looks different, even though we are all providing cannabis in a box.
Yeah.
So someone, you know what I mean? Like it's different what's inside.
It's definitely a benefit for you and for anybody else, that you guys can separate yourselves apart, because if someone's really a connoisseur, they're probably going to try more than one box. If they can afford it, they may have more than one subscription.
Yeah.
So that is, that's very promising and something that is inspirational, to keep you going. It's not something that you're like, oh, it's an obstacle because I got, A, B, and C that looks, my box is green and theirs is, teal or whatever it may be. So, and I did forget to put the box out, so don't be mad at me because normally I have it out. But speaking of, I see, he's been showing it too. But speaking of sponsorships, I definitely wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how not only, of course, I have the hookup with the subscription box services, I know the boss, I have the hookup with Flower. I have the hookup on the education, the events, because it's what I do. But let's get you hooked up in the intimacy department. I have the lube, but maybe you're needing a little something different. Maybe your man is needing a little boost for a couple of different reasons. And we have a great sponsor, which is Blue Chew. And Blue Chew can definitely help you out with that. Blue Chew is a great, in a way, kind of subscription service. It's not a box service, but you will be able to get, the little blue pill. And it's not what we all know is a little blue pill, but it is something that can definitely help if there's any issues with, any type of dysfunction, any type of, maybe you just wanted to, take it from 100% to 120%. You're trying to blow her back out. And maybe it's anniversary time. I don't know. Do you? But what is great about it is that you don't have to go and make a doctor's appointment. You don't have to feel embarrassed. You can just go ahead and go onto the website, and there are licensed physicians there that will go through the process with you and make sure that you have the best product. And you will get it in a nice little discreet package directly to your home after, movie night, or after you guys have, drank a little Tito's or whatever it is that you do to get in the mood. Go ahead and pop that, let your little friend take over. And we are going to help you out because we have a discount code.
What?
Yes, of course. I'm going to hook you up. So we have Blue Chew, I believe it's MenagewTMM. Yep, MenagewTMM. You'll find it in the links, and we'll make sure to post it on everything as well, just in case I made a boo-boo and I didn't have that right. But Blue Chew, let me just tell you, okay? I may or may not know from experience.
What's their website?
It's great. BlueChew.com. I'll send you a link, girl, because it just looks.
Do they have social media?
They do. They have social media as well. They do. They have Twitter. They have IG. Look, they're in the game. They know what they're doing. They're not playing. They are providing more than one service and allowing you more than one way to be able to get in contact with them. What I love is just the anonymity that is associated with it. So you don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to talk to your friend. You don't have to ask your friend for one of his. You don't have to try to steal from your dad or your grandpa. Just go ahead and get your own prescription. You'll be good. You'll be good. So so Blue Chew, that's the one that's gonna hook you up. So not only Menage with Mary Jane Maven, we hook you up with the treat, we hook you up with the knowledge, and we're gonna hook you up with the improvement and the elevation on your sexual wellness as well. So Blue Chew. So that is thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. This is a way that we're able to keep this going. And so if you guys want to be able to show support that way, definitely click on the link and get yourself a little bit of Blue Chew. So speaking of Blue Chew, speaking of what it can do for, that good member, that would be a counterpart for some good old WAP. Good old WAP. We are going to jump into the bullshit here before we take off tonight, because I feel like because we haven't talked, we're catching up like it's a normal phone call. So I'm keeping an eye on the time here. But let's talk about WAP. I know that you said you've only seen a portion of it, which is a travesty.
I'll watch the whole thing here, I swear.
Girl,
Sorry.
you need to watch it, then stop it, and then have commentary, and then watch it again.
All right.
And then learn the choreography, and then no, I'm kidding. No,
with
legit.
the meniscus, I'll definitely learn it.
Right? Yeah. I could see you drop it down and do that. I can see you. Well, we're going to show a little bit of it, what we can show. But I love the song. I think that it's super empowering. It slaps. If you are a woman who, is sexual and you're secure in your sexuality, and you have somebody that likes to get that WAP, then of course you like it. Because you're like, hey.
Love Cardi B.
She's wrong, right?
Yes, I listen to her a lot, especially when I need a pump up, I need to feel empowered.
Yes.
Bodak Yellow is where I go.
We were bumping it yesterday. Now, when I want to feel ratchet,
I want to get a pair of high heels now with red on the bottoms.
Right?
Bloody shoes. Yeah. I want walking around feeling like a badass.
Yes. And when Mix and Mingle opens back up, then we could do that. We can go in our red bottoms. Trevor Fong from Mix and Mingle will be here at the on the 30th of September, guys. So hopefully we'll get a little, I mean, he doesn't have a crystal ball, but maybe we'll get some information on what's to come or what's in the future for Mix and Mingle. I know we had a blast. Our picture is actually up right here on my cork board. I look over and it's of us. A picture that we took that night. Yes, we had a good time. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, so I didn't dislike Megan Thee Stallion. I didn't know any of her songs except for Savage, and that's because of TikTok. But I definitely went and listened to her, her discography, and the girl's fire. So I am now, I don't know what her fans are called, the Stallions, or I don't know, the Cavs or whatever. I don't know. But I am that. She is fire. Now, have you heard about what happened with her and getting shot? Her and, your country mate?
No.
Tory Lanez. So Tory Lanez is a rapper, R&B kind of guy, I guess a rapper. And probably about a month ago now, maybe almost a month, they were hanging out, Megan Thee Stallion, dude, Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion's like best friend, like maybe a worker or something, and they were all kicking it at Kylie Jenner's house. I guess she had a pool party. Earlier that night, they were on Instagram Live. You could tell that Tory Lanez was drunk. You could tell that Megan Thee Stallion was a little irritated, with just like he was messing up her IG Live. Well, the next morning, everything comes out that Megan Thee Stallion was shot and that Tory Lanez was arrested for it. Now she didn't say anything, so it was just her hairstylist tweeted something about it or put something on Instagram, which basically was like he did it, then deleted it like everybody does. Like people don't have the opportunity to read it or screenshot it or whatever else. Yeah. Her friend came out and said something. Her bodyguard came out and said something. So all, common sense pointed to Tory Lanez. She never said anything. She wouldn't say anything. And so people were saying, well, she must have had something to do with it. I don't know the truth to whether or not they were dating, but she's like 6'10" and he's like 5'1". So, there was the banter was going around, the narrative was going around that she was getting aggressive with him and that he was defending himself. Well, come to find out 2 days ago when she decided to come clean and say, he shot me, his PR and everybody has been going around spreading stories, contacting the media, saying that, it was me, that it was, a toxic kind of environment and that he was protecting himself. They had gotten into he was basically turned up is what I gathered from it. She got out the car, was 5 minutes away from home, her house that she's renting, was walking away, and he shot her in the feet or foot. Yes. So now before there was a whole petition to get him deported back to Canada. He already had felony, so pretty good chance that will happen. But yeah. So that's an update in the pop culture world for you. That's also my slap the shit out of you moment. Like Tory Lanez, come on. And then for all the people that's calling Megan Thee Stallion a snitch, shut up. Somebody needs to slap the taste out of your mouth. That is not what a snitch or what a rat is at all. Come on now. And let's protect women. And of course, let's protect Black women. And you guys are not doing that. Are you angry, keyboard gangsters on Twitter? Go find a hobby. Go get that dad or mom or whoever's didn't love you. Get them to give you a hug and shut the hell up. Legit. So that's my angry moment. And we're done. All right. So we're going to quickly roll into giving okay. I want to talk about No Jumper, but I feel like it's been so long. I think we'll talk about that on the new mini pod, Staying Sane with Mary Jane. So you guys make sure that you look out for that. Have those notifications ready so that you can find out when those new episodes drop. I'll give you guys a little bit of a teaser. If you guys watch No Jumper, if you had heard about Selena Powell and her friend Eliza on No Jumper, Eliza's from SAC. I've done my research. Yes. She's the one that bragged about sucking off 7 penises of a basketball team in one night on her 21st birthday. Yeah. Oh, girl, you need to watch No Jumper.
I
Yes,
need to watch it.
you
Yes.
do.
And swallowing all 7.
Huh?
And swallowing all 7.
Oh, and swallowed it all 7. Yeah. So
You go, girl.
trooper.
You go.
Not mad at you, girl. If you're
You
gonna do a job, do your best job, especially that type of job. So
don't
shout
ever
out.
do a job half-assed. Do it full-assed.
Shout out to the blowjob Betties from Sacramento. Fire. So finally, what we're going to talk about here is, as I mentioned in the first episode, I want to, shout out either a content creator, a Black business owner, somebody that's doing great things within cannabis, and they are either, affiliated and associated with helping out the equity and the diversity, or they are a person or a woman of color. This week, we've already shouted out Trees of Knowledge, so give one more shout out to them if you guys are looking for a really good delivery service, especially out here in like the Elk Grove, South Sac kind of area. I know that they service that area. Very fairly priced. If you get on Weed Maps and you're like, oh my God, looking through, try them first. They're one of the most cost-effective ones. But I do want to give a special shout out to Crystal Nugs and the owner. And please forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, but I believe it's Maisha Bahati. And she is, the owner. She is a graduate of Sacramento Equity Program. And she just, she's been kind of showing a little bit of her having her own flower. So not only does she have the first women-owned and Black women-owned delivery service within Sacramento, and I believe this kind of Northern California area, other than the Bay. But now she is she has a flower, so she has pre-rolls, and I believe she's going to have loose flower. She is also a stylist and a fashion designer, so I wholeheartedly, can envision and see that she's going to be, intertwining the two. That'll probably be her next venture. But if you guys don't know anything about her, Google her. There's been tons of stories. She's very much involved within the equity and making sure that Sacramento has a great program. So, this shout out, these roses, this crown this week is going to be given to Crystal Nugs. And thank you for being the inspiration and being the catalyst for so many other businesses and helping out Sacramento to grow, especially within people of color and women of color within the industry. So shout out to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So that is all that I actually have. I have a couple other things written down here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to save it. What I would like to do is give you the opportunity to go ahead and shout out everything about you. This is your moment to shine. Here's your spotlight. And then from there, I am going to go ahead and introduce our slap of the week, which is going to be our outro. This is a very inspirational song, and I think that we need to look back into the song to kind of be a song of this movement that we are venturing into, not only as Black people and Black Lives Matter, but as a society. So I'll talk about that in a moment. But here is the spotlight. I wish I had like a spotlight I could really shine on you. Go right ahead, hun. Share it all out.
What do you want me to share about?
Everything, girl. You could share, what you have for dinner. No, I'm kidding. Just once again, give your social media. Let everybody know really quickly how your subscription box service works. Oh, yeah. Give the website and and then you're gonna be on here, I'm sure, like another 10 times. So we'll share. So
perfect. So I service Monthleaf.com services Sacramento, Oakland, San Francisco, the East Bay area, all the way to San Jose. All you have to do is go on our website, enter in your information. If you're not sure if we deliver to you, you can enter in your zip code on Monthleaf.com, and it will let you know immediately if we deliver to you or not. We have 4 different boxes that we offer. One is a puff box, and it has flower, vapes, pre-rolls, and you can customize it. If you don't want vapes, that's okay. If you only want pre-rolls, you only want loose flower, that works for us. You can let us know if you want sativa, indica, or everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can fully customize the box. We also have edible boxes. We have CBD boxes. We have a sampler box that offers you a little bit of everything. So that way you can try everything if you don't know how you want to consume cannabis. And then inside our box, there's information on what you will experience, what the products are great for, what the high will be like. So that way you're fully informed before you start consuming. And it allows people the opportunity to plan a little bit.
And be educated and, going into it. Yeah. Yeah.
And our boxes are $100 each month. And then the value of the box is over $150. So not only are you getting a bunch of products every single month, but you're also saving money while doing so.
I mean, you can't beat it with a stick. Okay.
Pretty good. I'm not gonna.
Yes. No, that's awesome. And as she said, she partners with, local dispensaries, local delivery services, and, a good amount of that time, the businesses and the brands are local, or at least local to California. So great products. I know that the few times that we've had you on and you brought a box, or, I've opened my box, it's been fire. We were really lit on part 2. We were super lit from everything that was in the box. It was an awesome time though, but yeah, so it's a great service, you guys. If you want to be able to gift it to someone, you can. I wanted to send my mother one, my grandmother one. You're able to do that, as long as they're within the service area, of course.
Yeah, and we have their ID, we have their information. There is things that we have to meet with the laws. So if you want to give it as a gift, you can always email us and we can break down what you have to do. But it's fairly straightforward.
Awesome, fantastic.
We try to make it as easy as possible.
Yes. Now, one last question. If you could, right now, I can make any wish come true, but you only get one. And there's one brand that you would be able to put in the box and work with for eternity. Do you have a brand like that in mind? Do you have a favorite one? Is there just a dream brand?
No, I don't want to, in all honesty, I would love to work with just the local mom and pop shops.
Nice.
I love working with the smaller dispensaries. There's a lot of people that are in this industry to make a buck.
The green rush.
It's the green rush.
Yeah,
Very good way to put it. So I noticed that a lot of the big corporations, they don't grow naturally. There's a lot of money thrown into it. So I don't know. We're learning a lot about some of those big. I don't want to name any names, but we're learning a lot. In the news, it's coming out that some of them were not operating correctly. They were not following all the laws. It's coming out in the news. So I don't that just scares me that a lot of people are in this for the wrong reason.
For the wrong reason, yeah.
Or not because they enjoy the product, they believe in the product, they see the benefits of it.
They understand the power of the flower, like I call it.
And it's not this.
They'll be eradicated. They'll be eradicated. I wholeheartedly believe in that. As it becomes more normalized, and there's other more pressing issues to bring to the forefront, but that is part of the social injustice, is that people of color, the biggest hurdle for a lot of people is the monetary aspect of it. So then you go out and you get investors, and then you end up just becoming a glorified manager when you really should be the owner. You become part of a portfolio. And that's part of the problem that lends to what we were just talking about. People were just throwing money places, adding this and this and that into a portfolio, so that they can fatten their pockets. But they don't care about the progression of it and how it's going to help people medicinally, and how, we just have the right to use it recreationally if we feel. So I love that you are staying true to your purpose of wanting to be in the industry. I think that's awesome. I totally think that's awesome. And I send you many kudos for that. Because if it were me, I'd be like, what's up, Matt Barnes, Sacramento? What's up, Viola? No, Mike Tyson. No, I know. That's really cool. And because of your truth and your honesty, and the fact that you're doing it for the right reason, you're going to have an opportunity like that. It's going to fall in your lap, whether you're looking for it or not. So you're going to be rewarded in that way. I'm psychic. We'll come back on the show and you can tell everybody when I'm right. Perfect. So All right. Well, it's been so awesome. Like I said, it's like we were just catching up here. Tell hubby, I'm so sorry if I kept you too long, but it's like we haven't talked in forever.
Fine.
Yes, yeah, it better be, or I'm gonna get him. No. So one that I want to end off on here is a little bit of news. I just became the co-host of a upcoming new podcast, which is called the Boondocks Podcast. Um, so I was just asked to join the host, the hosting panel. So I will, of course, let you guys know when we are getting ready to put out our first episode. It's going to be a review of Boondocks. Each episode, we're going to go one by one, and we're going to be talking about how it is eerily relatable to today. And just shows how prevalent it is and how much we need it back. We need that voice. We need that voice of Riley and Huey. We need it very bad. So I did want to share that with you all. I also wanted to share a song that I think that should kind of be the mascot song for what we're going through right now. I know that this is what I listened to today after finding out about the NBA and reading some of the idiotic tweets of people and their opinions. And what just really stood out to me is Kendrick Lamar's "We Gonna Be All Right," which I know was kind of the song that we went to a couple of years ago. But this man won a Nobel Peace Prize for a reason. And so it's definitely a song that's very telling. I know that it helps me to kind of refocus and to not feel so shitty, especially with everything that's going on. So I just want to share that with you guys and have that be my slap of the week. So kind of wanted to go out on that. We may play it, we may not. If not, get on your Spotify or YouTube Music, whatever it is, listen to it before bedtime. All right. So once again, I do want to thank my good friend, the awesome Bree. I do want to congratulate her because I've been calling, her fiance hubby, but I've been calling him that since like day one. But she is newly engaged as well, planning a wedding. So yay for that. You're having a pretty good damn 2020. Not turning out pretty shit.
I have a silver lining. That's the way we're looking at it. We have something to look forward to for 2021.
Absolutely. And you know what else you have to look forward to? Me being at your wedding. No, I'm kidding.
100%, October 9th, 2021. Save the date.
That'd be awesome. So yes, no, once again, I just can't say it enough how much I appreciate you, how much I love you, how much I appreciate your friendship and your collaboration. And I will be sending over these wealth of ideas that I've been jotting down here. But yeah, you get to enjoying the rest of your evening with your boo. Hi, if he can hear me. We appreciate your time. And
thank you so much for having me. I love spending time with you.
No, same here. Same here. Please tell mom and dad I said hello. I can't wait to see her. It's been forever. I hope she's doing well. And you guys go ahead and check out Monthleaf. Check it out on IG. I'll be posting about it as well. And do yourself a favor, during this coronacation. Give yourself a treat. Monthleaf subscription box service is that treat. All right. You said go. Oh, yes. MJ10 is MJ Maven. Sorry, MJ Maven 10. Thank you. The hubby, just say it loud and proud. Like they know you're here and you remind me of shit. So yes, MJ Maven 10. If you guys can't remember that, get with me. Maybe I can get an affiliate code. That'll make it easier. I'll post it on my bio or in my links or something. But everybody, thank you so much for joining us for the third episode of Menage with the Mary Jane Maven. We love you. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Much love to you. You guys have a great night. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.